Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest is a New York Times best-selling author with over 18 young adult books. Her latest work is a beautifully written novel about sisterhood, motherhood, faith, and love. Here to share more, we welcome back the author of Skin and Bones, Portland native Renée Watson. So good to see you.
It is so good to see you.
I feel like you're a regular on the show.
Yes.
I love it. Now, this is your first adult fiction novel, right?
Yes, it's my very first adult fiction novel. I'm really excited to share it. I just felt like it was time to be in conversation with the people who are nurturing and loving and raising the young people that I've been writing for. So it feels like a continued conversation that I've been having about beauty, self-love, intersectionality, and now I get to have it with the adults that are.
Your protagonist, Lena,
yes.
Love her.
Tell
me about how she was inspired. Tell me about her.
Lena first came to me many years ago. I mean, decades ago. I was thinking about what does it mean for a mother to be raising a child and trying to undo some of the unhealthy messages that she received when it comes to beauty and love and faith, and then what are some things you want to hold on to when you're raising your child?
Right.
And so Lena has just been this complicated character where she's messy, she makes mistakes, and sometimes she gets it right, and she's really trying to think about what to keep and what to let go of when it comes to legacy.
She's also a large woman.
Yes.
And she's actually pretty confident about it.
Yeah.
Right? But then she's worried about what she passes on to her daughter.
Right, about taking care of yourself. And
right.
what is beauty? Can I be big and beautiful? Can I be black and brilliant? Like these things that sometimes people act as if they are opposites.
Right.
She is trying to hold both things, that I don't have to change how I look in order to be or to feel beautiful.
You talk about, there's a theme of taking up space.
Yes.
Not just physically, because she's a large woman, but mentally and yourself, like your attitude about yourself. So tell me more about that, taking up space.
So, well, Lena, she's living in Portland, Oregon. She's a dark-skinned black woman who is big, living in a very white city. So she's constantly thinking about how do I show up and make sure that I'm not erased. So physically, but also her story, her people, her culture. She's constantly thinking about making room for her story and for the history of black people, how we got here, how we were treated once we arrived to the Pacific Northwest. So in all of those ways, she's thinking about how to take up space and how to let her voice speak out and speak for herself, but also speak for her people.
You felt erased as a child growing up in Portland,
I did.
Right?
You know, it's so interesting. I say this often. When history was taught.
I just want to say, though, you were adorable. Look at this cute face.
Well, thank you.
That's
me at Vernon Elementary School.
Love it.
I think that, it must have been picture day.
So cute.
I often felt, I felt very loved and nurtured in my neighborhood. I grew up in Northeast Portland. Back then, it was a predominantly black community. I felt seen. I felt, everyone would tell me, you're smart, you can do anything. Then I would go out into the larger city of Portland and often felt that because of the zip code I lived in, because of the school that I went to, Jefferson High School, there are all these stereotypes about who I should be or who I could be. And I think Lena is also struggling with that. Like, how do I make sure that my child doesn't get her soul ripped apart every time she goes out into the world and is told that she can't be who I know she already is.
Yeah, and it also sounds like generational trauma she doesn't want to pass along.
Right,
like her grandmother treated her badly about her weight, told her nobody would love her if she was this big.
Yes.
Right, and she's trying to make sure her daughter doesn't take that on as well.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. You incorporate a lot of Oregon history, a lot of racist history, which is fascinating, and that's really important to you.
It's important to me because I feel like we weren't taught what happened to us when we got here.
Right.
And I want to make sure that history, that black history of the Pacific Northwest is known, is validated, and not just to say, oh, Oregon was racist, but to also say we had allies, we had activists who were always fighting for equal rights. There is a rich legacy of folks coming together to make the city what it is. So it's not only to critique Oregon, but it's to celebrate it too, and to say, look at this history that we have so that we can understand where we are in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The group of women is so strong. I love that
I
sisterhood,
love them.
right?
Yeah.
That comes from your own experience, doesn't it? I
Absolutely.
mean, you dedicated the book to a good friend of yours who passed away recently. Tell me
Yes.
about Shar.
Oh, Sharnetta Hudson was a dear friend of mine. I met her when I was in high school, and she was a little older. She's a few years older than me, and
We put up
was,
a picture for our viewers to see.
oh, she was just bold and brave, and she was so much of herself. She was an actress, a writer, a rapper, and she did not apologize. You talk about someone taking up space. I
Yeah.
mean, she would come into a room,
Yeah.
and not in this arrogant way, but just in a way of like, I'm confident and I
Yeah.
belong here and I know who I am. And so I'm so grateful that as a freshman in high school, I'm looking up to this person who's teaching me how to exist in this world. I mean, she taught me stuff about art making and, you know, the craft of theater and performance and all of that. But really, she taught me how to survive in a world that is often trying to like suffocate you and
Yeah.
dim your light. She taught me how to shine, and I miss
Wow.
her every day.
Oh,
I
wow.
really
I'm
do.
so sorry about your loss.
Thank you. I'm
that's
sorry
tough.
too.
Yeah.
That was a hard
That was a
loss.
tough one.
But I am dedicating my readings to her while I'm on tour.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You also, I mean, a teacher at your high school made sure to mentor you.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure I think she had you teaching a class yourself already, because
Mm-hmm.
you've been a writer since you were a kid.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school, and Linda Christensen would have me go and mentor the freshman class and teach poetry workshops.
Yeah.
So she really trained me and taught me.
And you mentor too, like this woman here. You
Yes.
mentored her.
Yes.
And then you mentor kids in general, right?
I do. I love working with young people. And it's interesting, every age I've been, I've worked with like that generation right under me. And in the book, Lena is also thinking about, I always have something to learn and I still have something to give. So in being a mentor, I'm giving to these young ladies the lessons that I've learned from the older women in my life. So it's just this cycle of passing down and trying to survive. And I think that's how you do it and how
Yeah.
you heal, right?
Yeah.
Maybe things don't get solved, but just knowing that someone sees you and someone is bearing witness with you, I think is important. So I don't have answers, but I have my presence, and I can just be here and listen and take in your story and try to help you survive.
I don't know how you are so prolific. Like you, I mean, you have a children's book out too.
Yes,
Summer.
Summer
right?
is here.
Summer is here.
Also came out on the same day as Skin and Bones. Yeah.
So are you working on 2 books at a time? Like, how do you have it?
Publishing is interesting. Summer is here. I actually wrote.
Summer's your favorite time of year.
It is. That's my birthday. July. So I do
Mine
love
too, by the
summer.
way, both
And just
Leos.
growing up in
Yeah.
Portland, I feel like summer is our
it's the
sweet
big one,
spot,
yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, this book was written a while ago actually, and because of COVID and other delay, we just got delayed
see.
in getting it out, and then Skin and Bones got pushed up. So both books met on May 7th because of delays and because of being moved up. So I get to celebrate this child who is this all black joy and enjoying the first day of summer, and also this older woman who is thinking about what she's leaving the younger generation.
Yeah.
So it feels like a good
Oh, it is.
meeting,
It's
you
a
know,
good-
even though we didn't plan it for it to be
Yeah,
that way.
I love it. We want to tell
Yeah.
everyone that you have a book event. It's tonight at Powell's, City of Books. I'm sure there'll be a long line. There always is on 10th and West Burnside in Portland. We'll put the information for you on our website at katu.com. Renee, so good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you too.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.